We finally made it. Wuthering Heights. Let's talk about the new film directed by Fennell, who of course has done some films like Promising Young Woman, Saltburn, two films I enjoy, Saltburn a little bit more. And I know Fennell is a very controversial filmmaker. A lot of people hate her, a lot of people love her. And I fall somewhere where I think she is an extraordinary filmmaker. She definitely has some of the best visuals out right now, and she really knows how to immerse you in a scene, I feel. And I get where people are coming from, where they feel like her movies aren't really getting to a point or feel shallow or just like there's not much there going on. All show, no substance, right? And I get what people are saying with that, but I don't understand it, because to me, I've always appreciated her films. That's just my opinion right there. You are free for your own opinion. I'm not right. You're not right. It's just an opinion. But let's talk about Wuthering Heights, which is undoubtedly going to be her most controversial film to date. And that is because it is based on Emily Bronte's literary work that has pretty much been an inspiration in English literature for many novels to come, and has seen many adaptations. And these characters are basically going to be in the ethos forever. So let's talk about Wuthering Heights, what I thought about this film. I had the opportunity to go watch this last night, and I was definitely somebody going into this that never read the book. I do know what the story is about. I do know how these characters are in the book as well. I pretty much know what happens in this book, like Sparks Notes version, right? So I know what this story was going to be like, but I immediately knew, and I've said it so many times before, this is an adaptation. The book, don't even think about it. When they do video games, don't even think about it. You know, adaptations aren't going to get it right. Ever, ever, ever. It is impossible. We all have different experiences. We all have different ways we read something and connect with. It's going to be impossible for a filmmaker to do what everybody feels is the proper way to do anything, because we all play or read things differently or interpret them as we're going. So it's just going to be impossible. So first and foremost, I went into this just saying, let's see what Wuthering Heights in an Emerald Fennell version would look like. And it was pretty much what I expected it to be, with a little bit more surprises here and there. I think that this film is definitely her most visually striking film to date, although I think that Saltburn has some more points to it. But I think overall, when I think about it as a whole, this film truly is dazzling to look at on the big screen. There are some amazing set pieces. There are some beautiful ways that she choreographs the actors and places them throughout, and it just really adds to the tone of the film. And that was one of the things that people weren't really receptive towards, is the tone of the film, and the marketing and everything did not feel like the Wuthering Heights that they thought it would be. A book that is more about the cruelty of evil, whereas this kind of felt in its marketing that it was more of a romance BDSM vibe to it. I will tell you, I think Emerald kind of really walks the middle with it. There is the whole as people have said, book talk vibe to it, but I think that is sort of minuscule to the cruelty that these characters showcase to one another. And I was kind of surprised by that she actually decided to go that route as well. And that's where the movie can kind of start to stumble a bit, but it still is able to walk that tightrope and make it to the end, in my opinion. I think Jacob Elordi as Heathcliff, all the controversy and all that aside, you can check out my video where I talk more about them. I think he played this character really well. This is a very interesting character for anybody to play that is so complex. It is a character that you're supposed to feel for, that you're supposed to resent, that you're supposed to be scared of. And I think Elordi played it pretty well, and for the most part here. I think Margot Robbie here playing Catherine as well was great. This is another complex character that isn't really able to be described in a single word. This is a character that is seemingly needy, that is seemingly wanting everything but not wanting to give up anything at the same time, but also a character that is broken inside due to her past and wants affection, wants love like anybody does. And I really did love how they were able to balance these characters together. The only problem I had was the chemistry with one another. I feel like at times that chemistry or that passion didn't radiate off the screen like it should. At times it was there and at times it wasn't. I'm not entirely sure what the problem was here. Finding the right shot at times, and it just kind of felt a bit repetitive, like we're going through the motions, and just a mechanical feel to the movie, whereas some parts of the movie felt like they flowed so well. And it just felt rigid at times, and that rigidity in movies can kind of make the runtime be felt, and that's what happens in the middle of this movie. I think the last hour of this movie feels very different from the middle and the beginning. I think the beginning when they're children was the strongest part, in my opinion, from the whole movie. I think that the young actors here, Owen Cooper and Charlotte Millington, their names are, I think they are exceptional as Heathcliff and Catherine, and really build the foundation for Margot Robbie and also Jacob Elordi. But I just think that Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi don't continue to build from that foundation that the young actors build for them. And that kind of makes it feel stale when it comes to their part, because it just feels like there isn't anything new going on here, right? It's just what the young actors already had built masterfully, by the way. I think that is the strongest part of the whole movie, the young actors that play Heathcliff and Catherine. At moments it did, but other moments it didn't. But still, I think that by the end of the movie, they really knock it out of the park. I think that the final, I would say like 15-20 minutes of this movie are insanely good and really land the movie in a way where I was just like, okay, I can forgive some of the mistakes that happened before for me. And I think I really love this movie. I think it ends on such a high note, and it is just an incredible film from start to finish. I think that there are some ways that it stumbles in the middle, and it could have been a bit more cut and defined, but overall I enjoyed it. I think Hong Chau as Nellie was great. I think that her performance here is something that a lot of people are going to talk about. It is a very scaled down performance in comparison to Elordi and to Robbie, but it is still a strong one, and one that is so important to the film. And I think she really nails it well and just really encompasses what this character is for this story. It is very different from the book, I will tell you. So if you're going in here awaiting to see Emerald Fennell bring back the book and recreate scenes from it, you might be disappointed because it doesn't really follow the book beat for beat. It takes sort of more of the romantic parts and really elaborates them. And it is more of a movie about yearning and also cruelty that one commits to others, and just how far and desperate that love, affection, passion, even obsession can take a person to really like take them to a level you never expected them to go. I think that this movie is definitely going to be a movie that's going to irk some people because of that, because I think when you adapt something as beloved and as like celebrated as Wuthering Heights, there definitely is going to be a magnifying glass, and Emerald Fennell decides to go to the beat of her own drum, the most I think any adaptation has gone, and really just do what she wants to do with it. And that's perfectly fine for me, but I can definitely see for people who are really into the book and all of that, they're going to be a bit pissed off about this. I want to give a quick shout out also to Alison Oliver here, who plays Isabella. There is a sort of arc her character goes through in that last like 40 minutes of the movie as well. It is something to behold, and just a very, very like interesting and exceptional performance on her part. Really got the theater going, I'll tell you that. I think also this movie is marketed more to feel like it's just gonna be a like sensual like vibe to it all. Definitely goes and scales it a bit back. But I will say I do love a lot about this movie. Like I said, I think Margot Robbie and Jacob Elordi are great for the most part. There's just some moments here where the chemistry seemed off, but there's other moments where the tension is so like dense that you could cut it with a knife, honestly. There are some of these moments here that have been living rent-free in my head, and if I tell you I wouldn't watch it again, I'd be lying. I'm ready to watch it again because there's just so much in this movie that I want to see. Some of these scenes that Emerald and the team really built are just incredible and eye-catching as well. But to me, the more I sat with it, I thought that this definitely would have been better if it was a series and had the opportunity to breathe a little more, because I feel like what they were building with the kids and all of that could have gone on for a bit more. I feel like their teenage years and going into adulthood and all of that could have been built more, and I feel like they could have made an incredible like series here. Like a 10-hour series definitely would have given this so much more depth, and I really do think that Emerald Fennell has the sauce and all of that. I just think that she is so close to grasping what she's trying to grasp here, which I'll talk about in the spoiler video that I'm going to be doing later this week. Stay tuned for that, because I don't want to get into spoilers for this movie just yet. But I think that she's close to grasping something that would have been just incredible and just really elevated this movie to be the perfect film. But I think that everything else that she does kind of like makes it go further away from her, and then she's not able to go for it at the end. I still think that she's able to finish the movie on a strong note. It was incredible to see. The theater really felt it. I could feel. I myself did as well, but not as much as I thought I would, considering the fact that this movie started off super strong. It's just, it gets a bit sluggish in the middle. But I think the music from Charlie XCX here, as well as the moody atmospheres that the team builds, and the incredible acting from all of the characters and actors are just on another level, which really elevate this movie a lot. Like, there's so much things that I just didn't like, but there's a lot more things that I really loved. So that's why the movie is kind of hard for me to really pick apart, because there is just so much wonder that Emerald Fennell builds here, so much nightmare and all of that combined to truly make a romantic gothic film as Wuthering Heights. Do I think it is the best out of all the adaptations? It definitely is the most interesting in my opinion, and it definitely is the one that stands out the most. Is it the most faithful to the book? I feel it's the least faithful to the book, but I still think that Emerald Fennell's vision here is incredible. I'm excited to see whatever she does next, and I'll be watching it because I've become a fan of Emerald Fennell. I think Jacob Elordi, Margot Robbie are amazing, Hong Chau as well. I think Charlotte and Owen, who played the younger Heathcliff, and Catherine also, and I don't think there was ever anybody who didn't really get a time to shine except for Edgar. I think Edgar was a character here that was really pushed to the sides, and you could care less about this character, which I find interesting because I heard there was a big deal with Edgar as a character in the book, but I don't know. Isabella does get her moments, and that's pretty much it right there. I think that this is a great adaptation for Emerald Fennell. If you are in tune with her movies, you're gonna love this one. If you hate her movies, my goodness, you're going to hate this movie. And if you are a big fan of Wuthering Heights, the book, and you want the book translated right on the screen for you, you are going to hate this movie. So I'm just giving you that forewarning before you go into it. Go into this not thinking it's Wuthering Heights, and I think it's a great film. And, you know, that's it. That's it at the end of the day. Stay tuned for spoiler talk later this week. Let me know your thoughts and opinions on Wuthering Heights, if you are a fan or not. And if you're going to be watching it this Valentine's weekend, let me know in the comments down below. But as always, that's going to do it for me. Stay tuned. We'll talk spoilers where we can really dive deep into it. I wanted to do it here, but I just don't want to spoil things just yet. Stay tuned for that video. Hit the subscribe button, hit the notification bell. 50,000 subscribers is the goal. I'll see you all next time. Stay safe, stay positive.